Let's stay right there in Atlanta. Joining us now is that city's mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Mayor Bottoms, great to have you with us this morning. We all saw those images on Friday night outside the CNN Center and in other places, followed by leadership from you that's been praised nationally when you said this is not a protest, this is chaos. A protest has purpose, imploring people to just go home. Your police chief and members of your force were out in the crowd actually talking to the protesters, hearing the protesters. Why do you believe you've seen the violence go down so significantly since Friday night in your city?
I think we've been given grace in our city based on our following a very simple plan, and that was the playbook that President Obama left alongside the pandemic playbook. And that was the plan on 21st century policing. And the major pillar of that plan is to build trust and legitimacy within our communities. And so we don't have we try not to let our first encounter with our communities be when a police officer is chasing someone down the street. But we have centers of hope in our communities. We have At Promise Youth Centers where police officers go in and they volunteer. We've eliminated cash bail bonds in the city of Atlanta. We have transition programs, taking men out of prison, putting them to work, and so many other things that we've done in this city to show people we are by far not perfect, but we try each and every day to do better. And I think that's the reason we've had some grace in our city.
Mayor Bottoms, I'm wondering just the impact of the president's approach so far, or maybe I'll put it this way. If you could speak to President Trump and maybe help him understand your community, what could you say that might help him communicate more effectively?
What I would say to him is, please be the leader that we need right now. We need a leader who acknowledges the hurt and the pain in our communities. We don't need a leader who's chastising us in the middle of this chaos. Very much like if you are a parent, you have to first acknowledge to your child that you recognize why they are hurting. And that's what he refuses to do for this country. And just to please ask him to please stop making it worse. And if he has an inability to do that, to allow someone to speak on his behalf in the same way he's allowed Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx to establish credibility with the American people, allow someone else to speak on his behalf, to do that on behalf of our country.
So let's actually explain that part, if you could. Why are the people hurting? Could you explain to the president?
There are so many layers of hurt that go back 400 years in this country. But when you see Black men being slaughtered on our streets, it touches all of us in a way it's so difficult to articulate because there's so many layers of feelings here. There's fear, there's anger, there's frustration, there's hopelessness, and it doesn't feel like it's getting any better. And we can't make it better in an instant because this problem didn't start in an instant. But we can at least commit in a very tangible way to saying that we're going to do better, and we're going to keep trying to do better. And we recognize that there's trauma in our communities. I mean, there's so much that we're going to have to deal with on the other side of these physical protests and confrontations. There's real psychological trauma in our communities is not being talked about and being addressed.
Jonathan Lemire.
Mayor, two questions for you, actually. First, I know you've had a curfew in place the last few days. So first, could you just give us an update whether one will be in effect in your city again tonight? And secondly, one of the other factors, of course, stemming into all the frustration we've seen across the country, not just in your hometown, is the coronavirus pandemic with the huge unemployment numbers, people being cooped up in their houses and upset. Georgia, of course, has been in the process of reopening for a few weeks now. Could you give us an update on what you're seeing in terms of COVID-19 infections in your city? Are they on the rise? Have they leveled off? Give us an update on that as well, if you could.
Well, we were still having an increase in infections, not what we had seen a few weeks ago, but still a steady increase. We had just hit that 14-day period where we were able to move into another phase for our reopening. We are working now to set up a testing site specifically for people who have participated in protests. I, in fact, am going to have a COVID-19 test this week, because what I've seen in the past few days that I've been in police headquarters and out and about is that in the midst of all that's going on, COVID-19 has been forgotten. And the reality is that our communities are still sick. They are still dying. And my concern remains that in a couple of weeks, we are going to see an even larger spread of COVID-19, as we were already anticipating an uptick in numbers coming out of the holiday weekend.
Mayor Bottoms, this is Gene Robinson. The issue you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, black men being unjustly killed by police, that is the issue that was sparked by the killing of George Floyd, that sparked these protests literally from coast to coast in more than 100 cities across the country. And so it's a national problem. The nation has said we must solve this problem. So it requires a national solution. How is that national solution going to come? How do you see it? How do you see this ending well if the president won't grapple with the issue at all?
Well, I think there are immediate concerns, and then certainly where we go from here. I think the immediate need in our communities is to have some recognition from the president or someone on his behalf that our communities have a reason to hurt right now. I think the long-term solutions include picking up that playbook, again, that President Obama left on 21st century policing in America. If you go into our West Side community in Atlanta, there's an At Promise Youth Center supported by corporations and philanthropic organizations in our city, where you can walk in on any day and you see young African-American men who may have otherwise been on the corner in trouble, interacting with police officers, getting job skills, finishing their GED. Those are the type things that we have to have in our communities throughout America. But I think the immediate need right now is for the president not to make it worse. I said yesterday, America's a tinderbox right now, and his tongue is a flame. And each and every time he opens his mouth, he is making it worse, and he cannot continue to do that. And if he has an inability to not be able to control himself, this is when other leaders of good conscience have to do it on his behalf.
You know, we always give him the excuse of being stupid or uneducated, but I don't think there's an excuse for this. I don't think he wants to do better. But I hope he hears what you have to say. Mayor Keisha Bottoms, thank you very much for being on the show this morning. We have much more straight ahead. We'll be right back.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.